Hello, hello, and welcome. Again, I want to say thank you guys for supporting the channel, subscribing, and just pretty much being you guys. And I appreciate all the feedback that I'm getting and the comments. I try to respond to as many of them as I can, and I really appreciate that. So just keep those coming as well, and then we can just create our own community here. Anyway, let's go ahead and cover this story now. I think I may have talked about it briefly, but when it comes to prototypes, or should I say concept, I think that was a concept car. A Subaru is the worst one to do this. Like, they make great looking concept, and then their prototype, it does not match with the concept of the vehicle. And then the final production version of the car usually is just terrible. Anyways, so we have a spy shots of the new WRX, and it pretty much looks similar. So I don't even know why they're covered as much as they are. So anyway, let's go over there. And just for context, I used to have a WRX. I had a 2013 WRX hatchback. I love that car, but the Type R took that spot because I love the Type R more, obviously, because it's one of those cars that I've always wanted to get for the longest time as I can remember. Way far back. Like, I'm talking about like the 2001 Acura Integra Type R. Now that car, I couldn't afford it. It was just too expensive. Even now, that car is going for 21,000 and up, unless you find one that's a little bit ran down, but somewhat decent condition. But anyway, let's go there. All right, so here we are. As you can see, this is the new one, supposedly getting spied, but there's no really difference here between this one and the current one that they already have. So why is this all covered up? Like, anyway, here's our first chance to see the next gen Subaru WRX. Unfortunately, it looks a whole lot like the current one. In fact, we'd forgive you for thinking this is just an extensive refresh. In front of the WRX has a more low slung nose than the current one due to a downward sloping hood. There's a hexagonal grille with a crossbar. By the way, I'm leaving that in, not cutting that. Going through the upper sections, the mash has large oval shaped openings. There's a narrow opening in the lower fascia. Tiny fog lights are visible in the lower corners. The headlights are narrow and have a jagged shape along the inner edge. Subaru's camouflage only makes one of the LEDs in the lamps visible. Along the sides of the WRX has a large windows that appear to offer a great view outward. There are vents on the rear portion of the front wheel wells. The rear fenders have a subtle flare. Subaru's engineers appear to be hiding a spoiler on the rear deck because there's a raised section there. The taillights have a more angular shape than the current WRX. The rear bumper is a vertical vent on each side. It's not clear whether this is a functional or just styling exercise. Dual exhausts come on each of the sides. The new WRX reportedly uses a version of the FA24 2.4 liter. That's the Forester engine, but they replaced that Forester engine with something less powerful, which kind of sucks because the Forester used to come with a 6-speed manual transmission, and yeah, they got rid of that, so now it comes with a very not powerful 2.5 liter engine. Yeah, Accent, Legacy, and Outback, where it makes 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. For the sporty model, there might be some additional tuning to increase the output, but you got to be careful with Subarus. The internals aren't always there because there's just so much you can do to tune the vehicle, yes, but just because you can give it as much power as possible doesn't mean the internal of the vehicle will be able to hold that kind of power. So you might just be careful on that when you're tuning the car. For me, mine was a stage 2 tune, and I sold it to my brother, and then guess what? He blew the motor. But I had fun with that car. So I sold it to him, and then I bought my Type R, which I'm happy with right now. A report from 2019 suggests the new WRX was going to be debuted in late 2020. However, that was before COVID-19 wreaked havoc on the auto industry, and unveiling in 2021 seems more likely. Now, I got a couple of different comparisons here because I did want to show you like this nice, very good looking concept that they did made a few years ago, and then they completely botched that when they finally released the vehicle. I mean, I understand concept cars shouldn't be taken seriously because that's not what it might look like, but at least if they can keep a subtle, or at least some of the things that are in that concept car, it would be way more attractive. Like that one concept that I'm going to show you, I'm sure you've seen it if you follow Subaru, which I do. It's much wider vehicle, lower stance. It's just, I really like that one. I wish they made it, and I wish they would bring back the hatchbacks. I love their hatchbacks too. So this is the front of the spide shot. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. So this is actually a 2016, and this 2016 looks a little bit closer to this 2022 model. I'm just guessing here. I'm not sure, but it looks very, very similar, especially from the grill side. So I don't know. It seems like they're going backwards comparing to going forwards, and the hood scoop seems to be larger. So that's what they were talking about, the angular of the hood scoop. The hood seems to be different, but the grill seems to be similar to what the 2022 version is going to look like, and that's from the 2016 version. The 2021 version looks like this, and they changed this right here too, it seems like, as well as the what is it, the hood scoop is different than this one. It's more wider, so more airflow. Yeah. And what sucks with the 2-liter turbocharged engine is you no longer have that Subaru rumble, and that's a huge selling point. That's, for me, I needed that rumble. So when I bought my car, it actually had it. And when you put the exhaust in that car, man, it's a great sounding car. That's for sure. But does not beat the Honda Civic with the VTEC. Unfortunately, we don't get the VTEC if you have that 1.5 turbo or the Type R. At least I don't hear it like how it used to be. But anyway, getting a little bit off track here. So the rear of the vehicle looks very, very similar. Let's go ahead and look at the 2021 version. Let's look at more pictures here if we can. So that's the rear. It looks like that design has been changed somewhat, but it looks very, very similar. I think they went with the LEDs in the back there. But to be honest, it does not look like very much changes here, except for right here in the rear bumper of the vehicle. That looks to be a drastic change right here. So will that be functional, or will that just be for show? Because manufacturers tend to do that just for styling aspects. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of fake vents that does nothing, just for aesthetics, I guess. But this looks like it can be directing some of the airflow over here. This could also be directing some airflow, but who knows if that actually goes through or if it's blocked in the back here. But moving on. Whoever took these pictures are pretty nice. Got some good view here. So that's gonna be the turn signal. Can't see much. I don't know if it's still copying that same like whatever L shape or whatever, because they covered it up really nice. And they got some fender flares here, or should I say bumper with the flares, but those are probably fake. They just put that in the outside. But I don't know if any of these are going to be doing anything. From the look of it, let me see. I was trying to zoom in. Oh, hold on. It does not look like it's It's hard to say if it goes through all the way to where the tires are, so more airflow can pass through there. But you can totally see this version right here. But I don't know if there is a air going into right here as well too. It's possible, but we will switch it up in a second. To me, honestly, this rear looks pretty much the same. Like this side right here. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so there's nothing here in the front. I thought there would be something here, like right around this area, because airflow is very, very important. But the grill definitely looks like the older version. It looks like this. It looks like the 2016 version on the grill side. And got a nice Tesla to race with it. Just kidding. Maybe not. Anyway, but yeah, this is the prototype that I was talking about. That they made this gorgeous looking, or should I say, concept, and then they just completely botched it. Yeah, they botched it. So they went from this looking concept car here, and then we ended up with this. There's literally nothing here. Nothing. It does not even resemble it. Not even close. But anyway, I think this video has gone long enough. Leave comments below if you enjoy the video, and subscribe if you're lurking. As always, I appreciate you guys coming through with the love. All right, you guys have yourself a very lovely day. All right, I'm out.